Today it's just a preference. Do I wear my purple hoodie or my blue one? Do I paint my nails purple or dye my hair purple? It's just a choice. It's just a color. And frankly, no one really cares. But 2,000 years ago, if you happened to choose purple, that could probably be a death sentence for you. In ancient Rome, purple wasn't just a color, but a statement. And how did the Romans actually get this statement? Well, it was from the glands of a small Mediterranean sea snail called the murex. Now, this snail was very tiny, and there was only enough dye in one of its glands for about 1 drop of the chemical. So, you have to imagine, it took about 10,000 snails to make a toga. Now, this process was long, expensive, and very smelly, but the result was Tyrian purple, named after the Phoenician city of Tyre, where it was first produced. And it was a deep, rich shade that never faded even after years of being worn. It shimmered between crimson and violet, catching the light in ways that no other fabric could. And because it was so rare, it quickly became the color of power. Senators wore purple stripes, generals wore purple cloaks, and the emperor himself wore entirely purple robes. But there was also the toga picta, which was an entirely purple robe covered in gold, and this was only allowed to be worn by the emperor. And under certain emperors like Nero and Theodosius, if you wore purple without permission, that could be considered treason or even a death sentence. It wasn't just fashion, it was a visual declaration of who ruled the world. But Rome wasn't the only civilization to use purple as power. The tradition carried on for centuries, across continents, faiths, and empires. In the Byzantine Empire, emperors were often referred to as being born in the purple, which was both literally a royal birth, but also the divine right to rule. In medieval France and England, purple, it was reserved for kings, nobles, and high clergy, which was a mark of power, wealth, and legitimacy. The Catholic Church, they adopted deep purples for bishops and cardinals, linking spiritual authority to imperial prestige. And even beyond Europe, the symbolism spread. Islamic caliphates, they used rich purples for royal courts to signify divine favor. In imperial China, purple was tied to cosmic balance. It was the color of the North Star, which was the celestial seat of the emperor. In the Persian empires, purple was associated with kingship, and in the Mughal empires, purple was coveted by the elites, often used for fancy silks and palace decor. From Rome to Beijing, purple wasn't just a color. It was a code. It said who could rule and who couldn't. Now today you won't get the death penalty for wearing purple, but you have to realize that for most of human history, this choice that you make every single morning when you open your closet was reserved for the divine, the rich, and the untouchable. So just keep it as a reminder that even color can also define who holds power. And with that, I'm Evan, and thanks for watching. If you liked what you just saw, then click on the video here. Also, if you haven't, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos.